right, welcome to Buster H.R. Johnson, no mask, Buster Uncovered. What's going on this week, big man?
I don't know it, Madman Mark Southern. What do you got going this week?
Man, I'll tell you what, it's been a rough week for me. I just got my voice back a little bit today, and I'm hoping this signal holds up strong for me tonight.
Man, I hope to. We already off to a better start than we got last week. So, hey, but one thing missing, man. Our brother West Coast Mike.
Man, he called out sick again.
I
Or was
guess
he on
did.
another damn poker trip?
Ain't no telling with him, man. He could be at the brothel. He could be anywhere. We don't know about West Coast Mike. You know what I'm
Well,
saying?
he did go to Las Vegas, so he might be at that bunny ranch out there in Vegas.
There you go. Hey, that's a trip we all need to make, man. Hey,
What Jimmy G's going to play for the Raiders. He said that's going to be one of his first trips.
oh hell yeah. That's where all my money would go, man. Every bit of it. It'd be like smoking crack, man. Just throwing out the money left and right, man.
You got plenty.
Shit.
You got them Buffet Buster T-shirts selling like hotcakes, baby.
Hey, dude. Next week, I actually have the design. Next week live, I'm gonna show it on here. Cool as hell, dude. Really cool shirt, man. Well, it ain't a shirt yet, but I got the actual design, what it's gonna look like, and everything. Next week live. That's breaking news already. I'll show the design next week, and then I'm gonna maybe already have some shirts starting to get into works. I want to get them out there, dude. I think people might buy them. They're funny, man. I like them.
There you go. That is a good nickname.
I hope everybody likes them, dude.
Speaking of that nickname, the man who gave you that, or the he, she, whatever he calls himself, he had a little injury this past weekend. I see where he hurt himself, and he's in a boot, I do believe.
Yeah, he tore one of his tendons, fucked up some of the ligaments in his ankle.
Was he in the wrestling ring?
Yeah, I mean, he wrestled at YWA last Sunday. They run, I think they run every Sunday now in Bethel Springs. But, yeah, I don't know exactly what happened, but I do know he's hurt. He went to the doctor. He went Monday for a consultation, and then they sent him to the specialist to look at his ankle and stuff, and he's gonna be out for a little while. I don't think he's got to have no surgery, but he's gonna have to let it heal. You know,
that's good.
When
good
I
news
say
on the no surgery,
when I say tore a tendon, it wasn't all the way through. I think he just tore it a little bit, but he did fuck up the ligaments a little bit, stretched them out and stuff. So, yeah, he's probably gonna be out probably 8 weeks at least. I would say.
All right, what kind of other wrestling news you got, man? I know a lot of shows happened over the past weekend. I've seen good crowds at MCW and Osceola, good crowds at Premier Pro in Dyer, Tennessee, and TIWF as well. I believe you was at a couple of shows. What you got for us? What's the scoop, Buster?
Well, I was actually at Premier Pro Friday night. Hey, dude, this is a company that all the companies around here need to look out for, including Memphis Wrestling, EPW. These guys are putting on a quality show. They're stacking their cards. And ever since they started as Premier Pro, the crowd seems to grow every month. Look, they had about 185 chairs out to begin with. They all filled up. So then, you know how it is. You go to pulling chairs from the back, from the boys. Whoever's got a chair that is with the show, it's time for you to stand up. I would say in the end, they probably had 200, a few more maybe. They at least had 200 because they probably pulled out another 10 or 15 chairs. And then there was still a few people standing here and there. It's a company to look out for, and I'll tell you what, I can't let the cat out of the bag, but I got a scoop this morning. Here in the near future, they're going to make a big announcement that's going to turn West Tennessee wrestling on its head. And wrestling in Tennessee in general better stand up and take notice. I can't let the cat out of the bag, but I can't wait for them to announce it, dude. It's going to be a big deal, man. I don't know when it's coming, but it's coming soon. So everybody needs to keep their eyes out for that. Look, they had an awesome show. The opening match was the Hot Shots, which are going to be our guests tonight. They retained their titles by defeating the Hooligans, Addison Kane and Terry Wayne. They had a real good match, man, but the Hot Shots, the numbers, the numbers always seem to work for them in the end. The next thing on the card that was a big deal, the very first junior heavyweight champion was crowned. Charlie Kingston won that match. It was him, Marco Harris, Perky Will, and Robert Murray. These dudes had a hell of a four-way match. Charlie Kingston in the end hit the big giant frog splash, pinned Robert Murray, if I'm thinking right, and became the first ever junior heavyweight champion for Premier Pro. And he's also the heritage champion for TIWF. So he's actually a double champion right now. Look, at the end of the night, the main event was Chase Stevens and the unpredictable Damian Wayne Coastal. These dudes had a fans bring the weapons match. Both of them ended up bloody. Both of them ended up battered. Both of them ended up bruised. But at the end of the night, Damian Wayne got the Duke. He put his belt around Chase Stevens' neck. Chase Stevens didn't tap, but he went out, couldn't answer the bell. The referee called the match. Damian Wayne got the Duke. And after the match, Chase Stevens had a few words to say, which all these matches will be on my YouTube channel. As you can see above me, Buster H.R. Johnson on YouTube. So you can go check them out. Their match will be Friday. But next time they're there, it's going to be a fan strap match. Ooh. So somebody's getting their ass. Yes. Look, somebody's getting their
good or bad.
Getting their ass whipped. But dude, also Jason Genesis beat Sergeant O'Reilly for the Premier Pro Heavyweight title. He's a double champion. He's the EPW Heavyweight champion, and he's the Premier Pro Heavyweight champion now. That's a kid to watch out for. And look, talk about MCW. You're right. They have been packing the house for really ever since they moved back to the building they're in now. Ever since they did the angle where the three brothers got back together and then Carl turned on the two brothers, I think they sparked something there. They've got a lot of good talent there, and I'm actually going to be there this Friday night. First time in 3 years, I'm going to Osceola, and I'm bringing all of the action from Mid-Southern Championship Wrestling back to Buster H.R. Johnson on YouTube also.
Well, hell, I just might be there with you this Friday night.
Come on, man.
Yeah.
Hey, they've been packing the fucking house. It's been a long time since I've seen that building packed like that over and over, and I'm glad to see it, dude. It's been a long time coming. These dudes hit on something. They've got some momentum built up, and they've been, when I say packed, I'm worried about having a place to film this Friday, to be honest with you. All right, look, Mark, EIW, you heard any information?
I heard nothing. Did they do their announcement Friday?
As far as I know, they did. Look, I was at Premier Pro. I actually hit Galen up about going to this show. I was going to send my wife to record it, but he never replied. So, didn't go. I really wanted to be there to see what's going on. Now, the information I got, which this is just hearsay, Rocker and Derek apparently have either assumed control of EIW or maybe bought it outright, and now they own it. But it's no longer EIW from what I can tell. They're just calling it professional wrestling right now. So I don't really...
Should be interesting.
Yeah, I don't really know what's going on with it, and I wanted to go record it, but like I said, Galen never replied to me, so I took that as a no. So I went on to Premier Pro, did that show. Dude, all right, now we got the Hot Shots coming up as guests here in a few minutes. We still got a couple things to talk about. But at Premier Pro, Justin Klein threatened to sue everybody.
That's
the fans Too Fine Justin Klein threatened to sue everybody in the motherfucking building, and you'll find out why later once we get them on here. But look, are we gonna talk about the? Go ahead.
Hey, let's save the good shit for the end, okay? Well, that way we can go off the air and leave some minds wondering. How about that?
That's fine. I know what you're talking about, but I got one thing I want to talk about.
All right.
MJF throwing a drink on the kid or pouring a drink on the kid. Your thoughts? Work or shoot?
Work.
I think so too.
Yes.
Surely this motherfucker's smart enough to know that ain't the right kind of heat.
Don't get sued, right?
Well, and that just ain't good heat, man. I mean, it's the truth. I mean, surely he's smart enough to know that. So I believe it's a work too. I believe everybody was in on it. Do I think they should have done it? No, because it ain't come off good. Work or not, it gets MJF the wrong kind of heat, I think, if you know what I'm saying.
Well, let me tell you this story. Let's go back to 1997, maybe 96. WWF days. Driller Ricky Murdoch and Austin Rose were the new Texas Outlaws. And Ricky Murdoch got a son that he brought to the ring about 3-4 years old at the time. Brought his little Texas flag out there and waved it. And mean old Mark Southern of the Missouri Bad Boys scooped the little boy up. We handcuffed his daddy to the ropes. And we tossed that little boy back and forth. And finally Mark Southern power dried that little boy at the age of 4 years old.
Damn!
You talking about some heat, son. Them people were ready to kill me. I even went out to the local casino over in Crowsville the following week, and man, people were on me from over there, and I was like, man, just leave me alone. I'm here to have a good time. But that will bring you some heat, brother.
Dude, that's some fucked up shit, Mark. That's fucked up. But look, here's the hook to that. You ain't on national fucking TV. That shit will work in our territory and stuff, and house shows and stuff. You can get away with that shit and it'll work and get you killer heat. But when you got the scrutiny of national TV, worldwide TV on your back, not a good look. Didn't help MJF whatsoever, I don't think. And let me ask you this. Is MJF, does everybody think he's the greatest heel? Maybe because he's the only guy out there that's actually really being a heel?
Probably so, man.
Would he have the same, would people look at him the same if they throwed it back in the Attitude Era and everybody was just shredding each other? Would he be as over as he is as a heel?
He might be over, but not like he is, no.
I don't think so either. I think the main reason he's standing out is because everybody else is scared to be a real heel. You know, and that's the
Buster,
truth.
let's get our guests in here before they get pissed off. Like, you know, they kind of work for the same company as the last two that got pissed off at us. We don't want them to wait too long. So without further ado, here is to find Justin Klein and the Hot Shots.
All right, we got Justin. Oh, shit, we got the whole crew.
We got them. What's up, fellas?
What's going on?
We roll together.
How are you guys doing, man?
How does it look like we're doing, Buster? Hey,
You look
Buster,
like-
you're kind of like, and I mean this in the best sense possible, you're kind of like the Joey Gross of West Tennessee with your accent.
Hey, I am country as fuck, man. I ain't gonna deny that. Dude, a lot of times when I hear myself, I think, God damn, man, that sounds like shit. But then part of me thinks, that's part of the charm, man. That's part of the charm. Let me ask you something. Tell us about the Hot Shots. We want to know how y'all became the Hot Shots. Are y'all lifelong pals? How did y'all come together?
I bet they met on the golf course. What you bet?
You know they did. Or in the courtroom.
In the courtroom.
These guys never needed a lawyer because they've got it like that. Let me tell you how we met. So I'm brought in, right? I'm a lawyer. I'm brought in for actually somebody completely different on the roster. A man named Kay Swiss. Needed representation. Obvious screw job. There happened there in Corinth, that Crossroads clash. So I didn't have any intention on continuing. I've been a lifelong fan, but I had no intention of getting in the business. I was just representing Kay Swiss during this case, during this dispute. I'm back there in the locker room at EPW, and I noticed myself hanging out with these guys more and more. We're kind of building a connection. You know, we're on the same wavelength. So next thing you know, they're asking me to manage them. And I did a little tweaking. They had talent already. But I kind of brought them into my world, showed them what I could provide them, and it's been sky's the limit ever since.
So how long have y'all been together as a group?
year and a half now, maybe.
Almost 2 years, something like that.
2 years. No. Wait, a year and a half, I think.
Well, what about you two guys? What were y'all doing before y'all all came together to become the Hot Shots?
Well, at first, before we met Justin Klein, we were sucking up to the fans and doing everything we could do to please them, but it really wasn't getting us anywhere. And then to find Justin Klein comes in the door, throws us a alternative, and ever since we hooked up with Justin Klein, the sky's been the limits. I mean, we're EPW's rightful tag team champions. We're Premier Pro Wrestling's tag team champions, first ever to be exact.
Got anything to add to that, Brandon?
Before we met Klein, we were kind of in a stage where we didn't really want to be, not really who we were. But when Klein came along, he showed us confidence, showed us what we could be with a guy at his level if we just hopped on his back and let him show us where to go, what we needed to get to the next step. It was kind of boosting and stuff like that. And Klein's really helped us get to where we are right now.
Let me say something. These guys were high school football stars, high school wrestling stars. So I needed to continue that. I got them enrolled in college. I hooked them up, got them into our fraternity, the Kappa Alpha Kings. I knew the connections they'd make there would change them for the better, and look at them. I mean, these guys, like I said, they're just natural-born athletes, and they've got a good look. Most of the wrestlers around this area look like they were born in a meth lab and got their education from 201 Poplar University. So,
Hey, Justin Klein.
These guys were money.
Justin Klein don't make no friends. I can tell you that. No, hey, look, let's cut all the shit. The gimmick. How did y'all come up with this? Is it something you already had, or is it just who y'all are? Is it a gimmick?
Look how he dresses. It's not a fucking gimmick. Look at it.
It's not a gimmick. It's who we are.
I love it, y'all. I think y'all are really, truthfully, one of my favorite teams or groups around, man, right now. I think the sky's the limit for you guys, man. Y'all got you got the
golf. We enjoy polo. We enjoy other stuff besides wrestling. I mean, so obviously we present how we are. We're not being anybody but who we are.
See there? It's always.
I know you're used to talking to juggalos and losers, but sorry, that's not us.
Well, look, speaking of losers, this past Friday night at Premier Pro, you guys took out one of the top teams around, the Hooligans. Give us your thoughts on that match. What do y'all think about that?
Got this. Take this, Brandon.
Really, it was kind of a light work match for us that night. What was it Terry Wayne that somehow screwed over and beat me the following month to earn that shot? I'd say they were probably all right opponents. I wouldn't call them our top level opponents. But overall, the match turned out the way that we knew it would turn out. There's not really nobody in the Mid-South right now, I think, that could beat us. What do you think, Ethan?
There was a lot of hype going into this match this past Friday night at Premier Pro Wrestling. Unfortunately, I couldn't been there. I wasn't there the last month to face these guys, so we brought it back for last Friday, and there was a lot of hype going into it. But one thing I noticed, these guys, like you said, they're one of the hottest tag teams around right now in the Mid-South. But from my perspective, from what I gathered throughout the match, they're nothing special. What people really think. It was really easy. And it was more than just a numbers game. You said earlier something about numbers games. We got them with a numbers game. No, it's strategy. Strategy plays a big part in everything we do, from the time the bell rings to the bell ends, we go in with a game plan, and often the game plan works.
Hey, it's great
That's
to
some
have that.
talk.
Great to have that confidence, especially in this business. Look, all bullshit aside, these two guys are top caliber tag team around the area.
Now hold up a minute, Buster.
That it? No, hold on. It's
all bullshit aside. That infers that what we've been spilling is bullshit.
no. That's
Hey, you know he's got a show bullshitting with Buster. That's his cheap plug.
Yeah, that was
No,
no
that's
bullshit. We're straight
Hold on.
shooters.
no. I'm not. I didn't say it that way. What I'm trying to say
Boy,
is,
you got him crawfishing now there, Justin.
look,
Yeah.
these guys. I love the confidence. This is pro
Exactly.
wrestling. You got to talk that shit. But the fact is the fact. The hooligans. Hey, they can they can beat anybody around here at any time. That's the truth. Y'all were definitely the better team last Friday night. But, I mean, they're a good team too. But, I mean, like you said, y'all are former EPW tag team champions. Y'all are the current and first ever Premier Pro tag team champions. What's next for you guys? I see there's another big title out there that I think may have you guys' names on it.
That'd be
What
the
y'all
Memphis
thought?
tag team belts.
I mean, that would be the EPW and them was the big two, and then Premier Pro, they're not far behind. So, do y'all have sights on Memphis wrestling?
Let me tell you, with Memphis Wrestling, we're having a little issue. Okay, with our social calendar, we're not real big on Saturday morning and Sunday morning wrestling. You know
I
what
can
I'm
understand.
saying?
Yeah, I can
Late
understand
night.
that.
You know, my guys here are obviously the stars of the campus and kings of the canvas, as we like to say. So they're all about the nightlife. We're trying to balance it out. We're having a little trouble with the Saturday and Sunday morning thing, but if we set our sights on it, I guarantee you it can happen.
I can see that, man. If y'all capture them titles, who can deny the fact that y'all are definitely be the top team around this area? I mean, those would be the EPW in Memphis is definitely the top two. Premier Pro is coming on hard. They run some killer shows. You know, speaking of Premier Pro, Justin, I got to bring this up. You threatened to sue everybody in the arena, from the owners of the company to all the fans, over the Justin Swine shirts that they're selling. Now, look, I don't agree with it.
Okay,
But-
so why are you plugging it then? Okay,
Well, that's what we do
I
here.
think you're on the down low there. You're trying to backhand get that in there. So you just did a plug for those stupid Porky Pig Justin Swine shirts. Why am I suing? Because it's illegal. That is trademark property. Okay, Warner Brothers, when they hear about this, anybody wearing that shirt is likely to get sued. And as some punk found out over there, my boy Brandon will take care of them as well. Tell him what you did, man.
Oh, boy. I knocked his ass out Friday night.
Fucking
I could've
cold
pin-
cock
I
that
could,
motherfucker.
I could have pinned his ass and won the match.
That's hey, that's the truth, man. There was a dude in the crowd wearing one of those shirts, and he laid him out right there in front of everybody.
And here
You know-
before we came on, you're crying about a kid getting water spilled on him. You think we won't do worse than that?
Hey, they heat magnets, man. What can I say? But you got to admit, Justin, even though you're suing everybody and you're pissed, the shirt, funny as fuck, man. Tell the truth. Shirt's funny as fuck.
There's
I don't
nothing
think
funny about that. Shirt.
Yeah,
It's
I don't think there's
outright
anything-
disrespectful.
Well, you
I
got
don't
to
think
realize that's coming from a guy whose nickname is Buffet Buster, fellas. So,
Hey,
you know,
sure.
he probably thinks it's funny.
Shirt's coming soon.
He's probably got one right there on right now.
No, I wish I did, because I'd be promoting the fuck out of it.
Anything for $1. See, I'm not going to like degrade and disrespect myself. I come from a little higher stock than you, Buster. Now, look, we started out fine. I'm easy to get along with. I don't care what people say. A lot of people don't like me. Can you imagine? They can go fuck themselves.
I don't see why, man.
To get along with, but once you start trying to, on the down low, try to disrespect me, I ain't having it.
Dude, that's what we do. We're not here to disrespect you, but we report the facts here on this show. And the facts is they
Fact
are
is,
selling.
I look nothing like Porky Pig.
I didn't say
I
that,
had a red
dude.
bow tie, a blue blazer. That's kind of my look from way back, from my college days. when I was, I'm an alumnus now, but when I was an active member, an underclassman, that was my thing. So now they want to say it looked like Porky Pig. Okay, that's the joke. Come on.
Well, look,
So,
let me ask you this.
so
What's
Justin,
gonna happen-
Justin, let me
Go
ask
ahead.
you this: how many guys are in the fraternity right now? Because I did see one other guy that I think joined at one time. Is he no longer in the fraternity?
We've had 2 pledges come along. You want to tell them about it, Ethan?
We've had 2. One was named Ray Collins, and one was named, what was his name, Brandon? Jay
He's freshman.
something. Yeah,
Jason Dredd.
Jason Dredd, and unfortunately they didn't work out. They just wasn't going to work out, and we didn't see them becoming full members, so we had to kick them.
It's not for everybody,
Well, let me
Some of
ask
them
you
can't
this.
take the hazing.
That's right. That's what I was wondering.
New school
Yep.
pussies,
Give us a
No
little
hazing.
idea. What's the hazing consist of? What do y'all make them go through? That's
No,
top secret.
That's
Well,
like
see-
Fight Club. The first rule
Yeah.
of Kappa Alpha
You don't
Kings
talk
is nobody
about Fight
talks
Club.
about.
Well, let me ask you this. Are we going to introduce well, I know y'all got some fine women y'all run with and hang out with. Are we
You
going to
already
see Are we going to see one maybe become one of the hot shots? Is there any candidates maybe? Maybe a fine cheerleader?
Yeah, you might see an escort, but I don't know about joining.
Ah.
We're a fraternity,
Yeah.
not a sorority here.
You need to bring home a shotgun. You know what I'm saying? Shotgun.
I get what you're saying, Mark. I get what you're saying. Now I'm like Klein. I think that you might see a valet or something, but a female joining the hot shots. I don't see it happening. Like you said, we're not a sorority. We're a fraternity.
I got you.
I'm always up for a good sandwich or a massage, though. So I'm just putting that out there.
Gotta realize Buster's from the sticks, guys. He probably don't know the difference between a fraternity and sorority.
Man,
Well, I heard
Girl-
Devo was
girl-
on here the other night, and Buster was trying to get his number.
get his number. I had to fight him off every time I see him or talk to him, man. Devo loves me.
They go to buffets together.
I'm glad you keep plugging my shirt, man.
This
I wish
is
I
the
had.
best drink there, Justin. Too fine, Klein.
Maker's Mark.
What is this, 1876? Come on. This is a modern man right here.
Yeah, it's a real manly
modern
man
drink.
here. So where you at this
Watermelon
weekend, fellas?
cucumber.
Go ahead and plug yourself.
Gluten-free.
Tell us where to get a hold of you and all that good
Word.
stuff.
We're actually going to be partying this weekend
Partying,
in Panama
yeah.
City, Florida.
No wrestling this week.
Hell
We-
yeah.
See, a lot of people are trying to get more bookings.
Spring
You
break.
constantly see them online begging for more bookings. We're trying to take less. We're dodging phone calls left and right. Our DMs are blowing up.
Got
Let
it,
me tell you,
baby.
if you want to book the hot shots, you need 3 things. 1, you need a crowd. All right? We're not going to go out there for 25, 50 people. 2, you got to have some athletes that we can have a good match
Yes.
with. All right? We can't have some of these, like this new team, what they called, the Game Changers, the Game Boys. They look like Pikachu and Paw Patrol. No. No, you got to look like you've been in a gym in the last, 15 years. Maybe you've gone through puberty. Those are the kind of men. If you've got good athletes, you got a good crowd, and number 3, and this is most important, you got to be able to afford us.
Money.
The hot shots ain't cheap.
Man, you know the main thing I got out of that? I can't wait to see some of these spring break pictures you guys show us. I know you're going to do it. Y'all always making videos. Y'all always shooting pictures. I want to see this
The ladies
spring
love
break.
it.
The
I
ladies
mean, we're
love
not
Too
camera
Fine
shy.
Justin
Would you be
Klein.
camera shy if you look like us? Look at my boys down here.
You know,
We're chick magnets.
you want to see pictures and stuff. Hell, we might even do live from Panama City with the hot shots.
There you go. There you go. That's what I want to see. You know, down here in the sticks, we don't have all that shit, man. We take we take our girls out to the barn in the hay, man.
He actually rolls around in the hay, fellas.
Soaking up the sun at Real Foot Lake.
Hey, I know. Hey,
Cypress knee up your ass.
Real Foot Lake.
I know you get all your sun from the golf course, but some of us do. Hey, we do a little bass fishing, a little brim, a little crappie. Maybe do some hunting.
Well,
Hunt some
I don't think you've
whitetail.
ever seen sun by the way you look.
Man, I made for Look, I'm a
Why there's them
redheaded.
letters in your name up there?
I'm a redheaded Irishman. Fuck the sun. The sun ain't my fucking friend. I can tell you that now. Fuck the sun.
Burn that ass up.
Like Mark said, tell us y'all ain't no wrestling this week. So what's your next dates? What's your next bookings?
Well, I
I'm
know
going to handle
off the
this one.
bat.
April
Okay.
8th, we're going to be at EPW. April, what's the next one? The 14th? April 8th, EPW. April 14th, PPW in Dyer. The 22nd, we're back in EPW in Boonville, Mississippi.
EPW, that's y'all's home base, it seems like.
That's our home base. PPW is quickly becoming our home base as well. And like I said, if you can afford us and you're not running an outlaw mud show and you bring in more than 40, 50 people, hit me up. You know, you can find us on Instagram. You can find us on the Facebooks, all the stuff the kids love these days.
Well, let me ask you this, talking about PPW. Say you do end up having to go full blown with this lawsuit and you end up owning PPW. How you going to change it?
Oh, well.
I mean, obviously you're going to change the name.
The name would be Klein Pro Wrestling.
Klein
First of all.
Pro Wrestling.
KPW. There you go.
KPW. The hot shots will be on every poster. I mean, that would sell it out. You get more female fans than you've ever had in this area. You know that's true.
Look, I'm glad you said that.
Will they come with teeth or without?
That's the problem.
Oh,
That depends on where.
I used to have this old joke, man. I used to say, what has 160 feet and 2 teeth? I'd say the front row at this wrestling show.
ah.
So
Unfortunately,
hey, you could be talking about Boonville. You could be talking about Dyer. I mean,
Yeah, it worked for every city I went to.
I'm aware. That would be the one thing I would do. Klein Pro Wrestling would move out of Dyer, Tennessee. We'd go to like Lepers Fort, Franklin. We would go someplace a little classier. Maybe
There you go.
Collierville, Germantown.
Let me ask you this. Who's the first people you'd fire? Premier Pro Wrestling. You own it now. Who are we getting rid of, Justin Klein?
The person selling the T-shirts.
Anthony Rogers, first of all, we'd have no use for him. He could go back to the bean fields.
Yep.
Don't fuck around and get your car towed.
Yeah, all the tow truck. You know, I figured out tow truck drivers. Who else is up there? Firefighters. These are some of the worst people. I mean, they talk about being blue collar heroes. These are pieces of shit. These are assholes I would ban from my events. Let me see. Who would I get rid of though? Honestly, I would never allow the LA Hustlers back. Steel Cross.
Definitely.
Who else, guys? Hooligans. I mean, come on. What my boys say about the hooligans? They've hit every McDonald's or that one guy's hit every McDonald's in a 100-mile radius.
Dude, hey, I will say this. When that was delivered, it was fucking hilarious. Y'all got to go watch it. The show, the match is already out on Buster H.R. Johnson on YouTube, cheap plug. But, dude, wait, Addison Kane is talking, and he's telling about all the places they've been, and then my man comes right in with the McDonald's line. Fucking hilarious. Pop me. I'll say that, man. You can probably hear me laughing on camera.
You know what gets me though? The Hooligans last Friday night, they proclaimed to be the best tag team in the area. But we showed them who exactly is the best tag team in the area. It's the hot shots. We're all over the place. We're beating everybody we come against. We're doing it all. We are the best tag team in the pro South area. And I don't think there's another tag team that could even step up to the challenge against us. What do you think, Brandon or Klein?
Absolutely. And what's great about it is we're not only the most dominant, but we're great role models for kids. Everybody should want to be like us. Wealthy, good looking, successful. I mean, you don't see any, cheap prison tattoos on us. No teardrop like that guy out there in the crowd that I said I was going to make him.
And you got teeth.
Yeah, we got teeth.
All of them.
Hey, a whole set.
We did a seminar, a special TED Talk down in Boonville one night on teaching people how to brush their teeth, how to really get in there with between the teeth, how to floss. I don't know if it helped, but, we try. We do try to better everybody.
Tell them to take that tobacco out of their mouth.
That's the first thing they
especially the women down there in Mississippi. Jesus
Oh,
Christ.
yeah.
That is the nastiest
I
shit.
love that rooster snuff.
Look, now you know all three of these dudes done woke up on a Sunday morning after a Friday and Saturday night out partying with a chick who's missing teeth and got tobacco dribbling out of her mouth, man, in the bed.
Oh,
You know
no,
they have.
No.
You know they have.
No.
Oh, spit tune lay beside the bed.
Hey, you can't lay out, party at the the fraternity like they do, and not wake up with some ugly bitches sometime, man. It has to happen, man.
We have standards.
I mean, there is a thing in fraternity, a little challenge called hogging. You can look that up. I mean, I'm not going to say I've ever participated in this challenge, but no, not these women in Boonville. Mm-mm. No, sir. I'm not even, no.
Hey, tell me,
They got
back
hair where it shouldn't be.
Have you ever seen a woman in dire yet? Is there one worth looking at?
I haven't seen it yet.
No.
Look, Mark, tell him, back in the day, you'd have a rat in every town, man. That's how you lived. Every town you went to, you had to have a place to stay.
Rat up there.
Hey, they like the cheese, man. They like the cheese. So, y'all got the
They ain't getting none of
cheese.
this cheddar. They ain't getting none of this cheddar.
Look, you was talking about the hot shots, and a month or so ago, I seen a poster that you had made up where you took everybody off the card and replaced it with a bunch of pictures of y'all over and over. I want to say maybe it was VIP somewhere in Mississippi.
Tupelo.
Yep,
Tupelo.
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 I can see Premier Pro being nothing but hot shots. I don't know how that's gonna work, but the whole roster, nothing but them three dudes be the whole fucking roster, man.
Man, I don't know. The boys in the back would get kind of jealous, but we're kind of leaders. I feel like don't you guys? I feel like they all look up to us. Ask us
yeah,
for
most
advice.
definitely.
No doubt.
Yeah.
Most definitely.
Yeah.
Well, I will say this.
Constantly like, hey, where did you get that? How did you do this? You guys are awesome.
These guys, they are a really good team. They work real good together, but they're somewhat unorthodox. If you want to know the truth, when you watch them, it works for them, but they're unorthodox. They're not. They're not Arn and Tully. They're not the Rock and Roll Express. They have unorthodox moves, the way they do them, the things they do. But I will say this: they're highly entertaining. They win, and that's really all that counts in the end. Hey, unorthodox, as long as you win, that's all that matters. They're a hell of a team. I mean, and like I said, y'all are one of my favorite groups right now. Bar none, that's the honest truth.
Well, thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
You know what? Another thing we didn't get at, these guys are real brothers. So not only are we all frat brothers, those two are actual brothers. So that's chemistry you can't be taught.
You right about that. Me and my brother broke into business together. He was my manager, and I was the wrestler, but that's cool, man. I didn't know that at all. I didn't know y'all were real brothers. That's awesome, man. That's fucking cool. I dig that even more now. Cool shit, dude.
You know, and I think that has taken us a long way because you get tag teams. Yeah, they've been on up and down the road together. They learn how each other work and move, and you know they learn each other. And but we and my brother, we have a connection that can't be taught or learned. It clicks. It's automatically there, and I think that's one of the things that helps us be a successful tag team as we are because of that connection. We didn't have to learn. We already knew when we got into it and how we were doing it. And I think that's what's brought us to the success that we have.
See that right there?
Picking up
It
cues.
explains a lot to me about them working as well as they do together and being as unorthodox as they really are in the ring. It's like when you're watching them, it's almost like they're going two different directions, but they seem to know where they're headed, each one of them. And now that I know they're brothers, that makes a hell of a lot more sense to me. Like you said, it's one thing to learn each other's shit. It's another thing to know it naturally, instinctually. And that makes me a bigger fan of you guys, dude. I'll be honest.
Buster, you don't look like the brightest
Okay.
person in the world, but you know what? I think you're onto something there. I think you're right. I think your opinion is 100.
Dude,
All right, guys, it's
the
about
light
time to
bulb's
wrap it
on,
up
man.
here. We appreciate you guys coming on. Thank y'all so much. Continued success. May you win those big titles later on down the road and represent the high class of professional wrestling.
Thank you guys,
Thank you for
man.
Thank y'all
having
for having us.
Thank you. That's all we're trying to do. Elevate the professional wrestling. That's all we're trying to do.
Had a blast, guys. Thank you guys for coming, man.
All right,
Mark.
man. That was great. Great. The hot shots.
The hot shots, man. Not making no friends. Know where they go. But
Well,
hey,
do you
this
blame
ain't
them?
this ain't a friendship contest.
That's
either.
right.
This
Baby.
pro wrestling.
Friendships come far and few between in this business. You get what you get. You earn it. And the hot shots are definitely doing their thing. They might hit you with a golf club. They might hit you with a Brandon right hook, as we heard right there. Poor fella from Dyer, Tennessee. So is his jaw okay?
Lady
Let me
Mac.
ask you that. Is his jaw... Well, they
Look.
had to call the EMT. I mean, they were at the fire station. So there should have been the EMT right there.
Look, the dude sat around with the rest of the show with a bag of ice on his jaw, man.
Little swole jaw.
All right, Mark. Great show. Are we going to discuss the disgruntled guest?
Yes, disgruntled guests, not disgruntled employees.
Disgruntled guest.
There
It
you
may
go.
hey, depending on how the show goes, that might become a recurring segment, dude. But look, all right, for the people who don't know, last week we had several guests on. We had royalty from representing royalty of the Savage Brotherhood. We had Johnny Dotson and Savage Brotherhood representing Bluff City. Well, we also had scheduled Justin Case and Aaron Roberts, which obviously they're Memphis Wrestling. Well, somewhere during Bluff City guys' comments, the Memphis guys took offense to the point where, hey, they refused to come on. You know, that kind of blowed me away. Look, I even had a conversation with Aaron on Messenger after the show because I really didn't know what was going on. And here's the thing. In his eyes, we shouldn't book guys from rival companies. And, you know, if we were booking a wrestling show, maybe so. But we're booking a podcast, basically a talk show here.
That's
So,
right. And we're giving them exposure.
and here's the thing. Now, I'm going to date myself, but if you was on the Tonight Show with Johnny Carson, and you had one movie coming out, and there was a rival movie star that had another movie coming out, and both of y'all were going to be on that same show, would you refuse to come on if that guy say my movie's better than your movie?
Hell no, you better not, because that's going to help his movie.
Well, look, here's the thing. If that would have been me, I'd have been chomping at the bit. I'd have been blowing me and you
That's
up,
right.
saying,
Get me on.
Put me on right now with this
That's right.
motherfucker.
Right.
Put me on right now. See, I believe that's the glaring difference between wrestlers of today and yesteryear. Wrestlers of yesteryear, if you felt that strongly and had that big of conviction that you refused to come on, I feel like you should have had that big a conviction and that strong a conviction to want to come on and say your piece. I would have.
That's right.
There's no. Hey, and here's the thing: when you pick up this little thing right here in the wrestling business, if you ain't ready to shred somebody if they're talking shit about you, then you need to stay on the fucking porch. Simple as that. Hey, this right here in the wrestling business, it's like battle rap. When a guy's coming at you, and here's the thing, I still don't see what was said that was so derogatory that would piss these guys off that bad. But if a guy's shredding you on the microphone, you should pick up this fucking microphone and shred his ass alive, or at least give it your best shot.
Give it right
back. Not take your ball and go home.
That's
and look,
right.
I love Aaron. I love Justin. You know, I think they are fucking awesome together. There's no doubt about that. This don't affect the way I look at them whatsoever in that sense. I think they're great together. I think the minute they found each other, I think it's worked out for both of them. I think they made each other better. Look, Aaron, he kind of lived up to his namesake, the problem child. He had a problem, and I feel like in this case, he somewhat acted like a child and kind of took his ball and went home when I think he should have come on and said his piece. You know? Here's what we're
going to do. We're going to send another invite to Mr. Justin Case and Aaron Roberts. You guys are more than welcome to come on again and talk to us. Tell us how you feel about Johnny Dawson, Bluff City, Buster, Mark, Mike. I don't care. Tell us.
Look, hey, Aaron Roberts, me and him, like I said, we had a little conversation on Messenger. And, you know, he's had a change of personality over the last year and a half or so. Change of attitude. And it's got him, since him and Justin hooked up, it's even worse. But look at the success he's had since then. But at the same time, I feel like he's becoming a little bit of, maybe of a prima donna, you know. But is being a prima donna a bad thing in the pro wrestling business? Not really. For a lot of guys, Shawn Michaels, if he hadn't been a prima donna, probably wouldn't have been the fucking star he was. I mean, that's as simple as that. You got to have an attitude. You got to fucking be a prick sometimes in this bit, most of the time in this business. If you believe you're that big a star, so like you said, they got an open invitation. Come on back on. They can say whatever they want about whoever they want. You know, come on, say what you want. It don't matter. You can say what you want about me. Express your feelings. I still love both of these guys. I still think they're fucking awesome. I just wish the situation would have been handled a little different. You know, one thing I do believe that had more of effect than they want to let on. You know, we told Aaron he'd get on at 7:45, which obviously we were having technical difficulties, so the show was running long. It's a live show. I think Steve believed he got a little pissed off because he didn't get on when he was told he would, because the very first message kind of said so much, you know. Y'all told me I'd be on at 7:45, and you got me sitting here waiting and listening to this guy here dog my company, which I didn't think. Look, here's the thing. Johnny promotes Johnny in Bluff City every fucking time he's on the microphone, on a live, anywhere he's at, he's always promoting. So, and he didn't say nothing he hadn't said 200 times before on lives and other shows. So I don't really see what would have pissed him off that bad. I think it still had a lot to do with maybe them not getting on when they were told. But you got to understand, this is live, just like live TV. Shit happens. You seen we were having problems. Kind of deal with it, man. Be a professional. Wait. Come on and say what you got to say. We didn't care what you say to Johnny. We can't stop what these guys say, and we're not going to. You have the same option to come on and say whatever you want to say too. You know, I mean, what's your thoughts about the situation, Mark?
Well, first of all, like I said, I would have been chomping at the bit to get to say what I wanted to on this show, where the
Me
people
too.
can hear me in person, not behind a little chat. No, as we all know, we had a little group message going there, and a lot was said, but that's for that little group. A lot of that could be said right here, hashed out how you felt. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, it is what it is. Like I said, I think it says a lot more about wrestlers of today compared to wrestlers of yesteryear. We'd have been ready to fight. If I
Yes.
felt that strongly about it, somebody said something that pissed me off that bad or hurt my feelings that bad, I'd have been chomping at the bit to get on. I'd have been threatening not to come on if y'all didn't put me on live right then with them.
Hey, Buster,
I know
we,
it, Mark.
aren't we the ones that put them two together?
Well, that's what I was getting at. Both of these guys, hey, dude, both of these guys are your guys,
Didn't we
Yeah,
put them together? Look what we created. We've created a monster.
Hey, that's what it takes sometime in this business. Look, I don't hold no heat on either one of them. This is the wrestling business. Shit happens. I don't really take none of this shit personally. I understand that, look, the wrestling business is built on conflict. Kayfabe and for shoot. It always has been. You couldn't have a wrestling business without good guys and bad guys, and you don't have good guys and bad guys without conflict. The whole wrestling business is based on conflict. And you know as well as I do, as much as it's based on kayfabe conflict, there's always real conflict between wrestlers, between territories, between companies in the wrestling business. That's the nature of the business. Stand up if you feel that strong, stand up for your company, raise your fucking fist and say what you got to say.
Use a platform if you have it.
I still love both of y'all. Like I said, I hope y'all don't really take this personal because that ain't how I mean it. And it is what it is. I don't hold no heat at all. It's done. I hope y'all do come back on. You're welcome to come on, say your piece, whatever you want to say. The invitation is there. All y'all got to do is let us know. We'll get you on anytime.
That's right, baby.
Mark,
What else you got?
Really, that's it, dude. No, hold on. Before we get off here, you know that I call so much heat from people about not going after Johnny. No shit.
I'm going after him.
Not going after him when he's talking numbers and different things. I got so much heat from people, messages, and people in person telling me, well, why didn't you go after him? And he was just sitting there lying. And here's the thing.
He had a piece of paper, didn't he?
I don't remember, dude. Johnny, look, Johnny does what Johnny does.
Johnny knows how to get heat on himself very well.
And if you're talking to the King superstar, you can hang that shit up. You ain't going. Johnny, he gonna stay on course regardless. He gonna promote him. He gonna promote himself. He gonna promote his company. He gonna promote his guys, and he gonna get as much heat as possible. And look, we all know Johnny likes to talk because Johnny likes to hear himself talk, and we all know that Johnny, especially the King superstar, is full of shit too at the same time. But I can't say
this right now.
Hey, I can't say nothing. I think that's why we get along. You know, that we had that post I made a month ago about numbers caused the whole fucking 2-day ride on the Facebook.
That's right. Blocking people.
But look, then when we get face to face, I can't help but like Johnny for some reason. Look, like I said, we all know he's full of shit, but hey, I'm full of shit too. I mean, no shit. I'm just as full of shit as Johnny. I just ain't got a company to promote and guys to push. I can't blame Johnny for anything he says. I'm not going to censor nothing he says. And I'm not going to censor what anybody says. And I still really don't see what the heat was. But you wouldn't believe how many people that wanted me to shred Johnny. And look, I have been keeping up with these YouTube numbers.
Right on.
And I've even added Bluff City, not Bluff City. I've got Bluff City. They've got 2 channels, splitting the views. Obviously Memphis Wrestling, and I added EPW. I have been keeping up with the numbers every week just in case I need them. I had them last week, And there was a few things I could have went at Johnny about, but what would have been the use of it? We were already having technical problems, and here's the facts. It's really our job to get these guys on here, let them promote themselves, have the best show we possibly can. I mean, if we go to ripping into every guest we have, we ain't going to have no show.
It'll just be me and you and Mike, ain't it?
And I mean, do people want the Jerry Springer version, or do they want a legit wrestling program that discusses the legit issues and gives these guys a platform to speak their piece too? Real or kayfabe, either way, you know. But I didn't believe how much heat I got over not going after Johnny over some things. But I did. I caught a lot of heat, dude. Goddamn you, Johnny Dotson! You getting me,
superstar.
You getting me heat now, man.
Hey, that's all right, though. That's good heat, baby. We love it. Bring it.
Mark, been an awesome show tonight. I really enjoyed the hot shots. Hey, P.S. Don't tell Justin Klein. I'm buying me one of them fucking shirts. Oh yeah. Hey, look just like him, dude. Just fucking like him.
Wear it on the show next week.
Hey, looks just fucking like him, man. No, in all seriousness, fucking awesome Premier Pro show. Like I said, I'm going to MCW this Friday night. Gonna bring.
That means you have to come right through here, don't you?
I'll cut off and go through Steel. Come out at Steel.
You come out at Crowsville Braggadocio exit.
Yeah.
Yeah, see? You're coming through here. I'm watching.
Go come on, Mark. You can hang out with me and we'll film the show, and I'm looking forward to it. Like I said, these guys over the past few months have really, really been building momentum, and they're packing the house every single week now.
I think the old King Superstar and Carl Clapp's going at it right now.
Dude, Johnny goes at it with everybody. Look, I done made up my mind. When I make posts from now on, I ain't even going to re-comment on it. I'm going to say what I got to say, and then I'm going to let whoever bitch that wants to bitch, and I'm not even going to acknowledge it. If it's something I like, I'm going to give a good reaction. If it's something that's derogatory, I'm not going to get into it, because I ain't getting into no 2-day Facebook fight. It absorbs too much of my time, you know.
I had a conversation with Dustin Starr the last 2 days, and we didn't even argue about nothing.
You know, I would love to get Dustin on here one day.
We'll see if we can make that happen.
Dude, I think it would be an awesome show. I've seen Dustin on other interviews, and if you ask Dustin the question, he'll fucking answer it. He don't beat around the bush, and I like that. I'd love to get Dustin on here. I thought about trying to reach out to him, but I had never talked to you and Mike about it and see what y'all thought.
We should get Dustin and come right behind with Johnny.
Oh my God. Hey, or what we should do is get them on face to face in the big debate.
That's right, baby. Let's set them down.
Look, I'll tell you someone else who I really want to try to get on here in the future. Since we've talked about them a lot tonight, the Hooligans.
The Hooligans.
Look, all bullshit aside, these dudes are a real good team. They are one of the top teams around the Mid-South area. I think they'd be great guests to get on, man. We talked about them a lot tonight. The Hot Shots talked about them. I think here in the near future, maybe the next few weeks, we reach out and see if we can get them on here, man.
Yeah, I believe I can make that happen. I know one of them pretty good.
I like both of these dudes, man. Yeah. I think they're a hell of a team together. They're a solid-ass team.
Might even get my tag team old Pure Power and see if they want to come on here.
Do that, man.
And if you mess with me on that episode, I had Charles Ray just ring you by the neck.
Long as you ain't got that little fucking dingle bell with you, man. Damn, I had someone else I was going to mention, but you fucking made me forget it, Mark.
Well, you're old. You forget shit easy.
Hey, I am getting old. Hey, no shit, dude. Next week I am going to debut the design. I'm going to get it to you, and hopefully then you can put it up on the screen.
We can do it, buddy.
Fucking cool, dude. I think everybody's going to love it. I love it. Really come out better than I thought. I kind of give the girl my idea and let her be the artist, and she just kind of ran with it. I'm very pleased with what we come up with, man. Hopefully next week, for sure next week, we'll debut it if we can.
Cool. Hey, before we get out of here, special shout out to Alan Walker, I missed his podcast last night because of my voice. I still ain't got a lot of it back, but he also had surgery today.
Yeah.
Get well soon, Alan, and we'll talk to him and hopefully get things squared away. We'll be back on his show. That is Wrestleland. So
There you
if
go.
if you not have liked, shared, and subscribed that channel, go there. Go to Buster H.R. Johnson as well, and go to the Boot Hill Sports Network. Hey, all three of us trying to bring some wrestling in to your neck of the woods. So join us, like, share, and subscribe. Until next week, this is the Manly Man,
Don't
Money
cut
Mark,
me off.
and Big Buster H.R. Johnson. We'll
You know
see
how
you
we-
next week.
You know how this shit's got to end. You motherfuckers, y'all ain't got to go home, but y'all got to get the fuck out of here. Peace. We're out.